Okay, so this morning we're sorting through my customers, and I'm doing the air quote, just needs to be balanced job. This was a DIY drive shaft shortening job that he asked me if I could balance. And I put it in the balance machine as it arrived, and it shook violently. I mean, like it was trying to tear itself off the balancer stand, like you've seen on some of these other videos. So here we go. Okay, so launch the arrow indicator, and I'll explain my setup here. This is a little bit unusual, but it's kind of like a bunch of different problems stacked up that I'm trying to sort through. First of all, it sounds like this is several drive shafts put together with yokes mixed up and who knows what, and that's the back section. It's going to be the back section right there. Shortened it here at the midship stub, and that's where, as you see in some of the videos, that's where all the action is a lot of times. And you got, never mind in the rest of the drive shaft, you got one stub, tube, bearing, yoke, nut, the little threaded portion down here that the stud, the threaded portion is integral, and that's the nut goes on there to hold that on. That is cheeked up against the bearing correctly. But so we're gonna, and I've ran this right now. I'm proving out that the yoke is good. I'm trying to figure out where the problem is causing this amount of run out. It's got 22 thousandths run out right there, closer to, yeah, pretty close to 25. As you can see, I got one shell knocked off, the outer shell knocked off the bearing. I'm indicating on the bearing itself. I normally would indicate this in the press-up machine, or even between centers and the lathe, except for the end of the threaded stud that holds the nut goes on there on that thread to hold the yoke on, the midship yoke, has been prick punched around where the center is. Probably, there's that old thing people used to do, stake where the nut meets the threads. Well, where the nut meets the threads on this is also where the center is that the part is built by. So the center is compromised. So I came up with this. I'm indicating on the bearing itself. I mean, it's a bearing, so it should be round. And I don't think the problem is the bearing. To be fair, I've already indicated it this way with just the trunnion, just the shoulder. I didn't have the bearing on it. It's the same exact results. Right now I'm verifying. I've had this yoke on this way and 180 degrees out, and it's reacting the same way. So that tells me that the yoke is good. This yoke isn't like bent or screwed up or somehow machined off center, or one of the locating nubs. They're both there, but basically I'm proving out everything to see where what's causing the run out. It's not the bearing, and it's not the journal. The journal is round. This is welded in cockeyed. That's long and short of it. And why does this matter? Well, the reason it matters is it's clamped to the frame. When you reassemble the bearing, this is what's holding it to the frame of the cross member on the truck. So when this is spinning right now, it's causing the bearing to run out because I've got it between centers in my balancer, suspended the way it would run in a vehicle. So if it was running this way, this would be going in orbit, which it is. You can see it is going in an orbit. If you had this clamp down, this yoke would be hooked to this end and causing that drive shaft, this yoke here, you can see it wagging around. And when I had that hooked to it, it was wagging around and I could see it. And like I said, it was violently bad. So we're just trying to figure out here where it is, and I'm gonna set about I'm gonna fix this so I can get him going. But that's just one of these unusual things that I had to rig up just to chase it out. And that's because, once again, somebody misguidedly staked the end of the stud right there and ruined the center that should be that's why they put centers in things, so you can put them between centers. Yep, fun.